In this NVivo15 for Mac tutorial, I want to talk about working with picture files. The file formats that are considered to be pictures are .bmp, .gif, .jpg, .png, and .tif. This just reminds us that PDF files are not considered picture files in this program. So you may have data like I do that are drawings or handwritten notes that need to be coded. So here's an example of some kind of data that I might have that I would need to code. These would be children's drawings with parents' labels on them. These were journal entries that were created by families, and I need to be able to code those. One thing I want to mention is that you cannot edit picture files once they are imported into the Mac version of NVivo. For instance, this particular image is sideways and I need to reorient it. I need to do that and save it in the reoriented fashion before I import it into NVivo, or I'll just have to code it sideways. So depending on your preference, you need to take care of that beforehand. So I'm going to import the NVivo15 file, and we do that exactly the way we do any other imports. We can drag and drop it right here onto list view, and I've got it importing into the journal subfolder because that's where I like my files to go. I like to have all the same kinds of data in a file folder together. Once I've imported the NVivo15 file, you'll see it opening here. Now we can do two things here that are really important. One is we can code directly onto the image, and we can create what's called a picture log, which will appear in this empty region over here to the right, which would be text-based descriptions of what the picture is or any notes that you want to make about the picture. So I'll just show you quickly how that would work. So I'd like to be able to code the selected items that the child has drawn. He's drawn a kite, grass, strawberry, and a man here. And I'm going to want to create some new categories as I do that. So the first thing I want to do is to highlight a region by dragging the selection rectangle around the portion where the child has drawn the kite. Notice that the little code button has been lighted up over here, and I can drag and drop that to code it, but in this case I don't have the code I need. I need a subcode that's called kite. So I'm going to control click right in the selection rectangle, and code selection comes into my action menu, and I'm going to say to a new code, which I'm going to call kite. And you'll see that appear as a top level code. Well, I'm going to drag that onto the black book of colors so that I have a subcode there. Now, I've already coded to kite as I created it. And when we go back to the Kenneth file, I might decide that I want to say a little bit about that and create that as a picture log entry. So to create a picture log entry, I need to make sure that I've got the edit button clicked. Now I've got the selection rectangle visible. I can click the plus button, and it creates an opportunity for me to write something about this portion that's been highlighted. I'll just write child draws kite from book. And I've already coded the region that's highlighted, but I may also want to code the text that I've just created. So I need to be out of edit, and now the code button is highlighted. I can highlight that. I can click the little code menu, and let's see if we see that is a recent code. Yep, black book of colors, there's the kite under recent. I'm going to code it right to there. So now when we look at the kite code, we'll see not only the image, but the text from the picture log that I highlighted. One thing I want you to notice is that, of course, we're seeing the parts of the image plus the picture log here. But if we decide that we wanted to export this to share with somebody else, we would go to the Share tab and to the Export menu. We'd export that item. Now we can look at the way this particular node looks. So you see it here. We're seeing an image. We're seeing the text. Here's the exported version. And what I wanted you to notice is that you will not see the little image thumbnail in an export from that code. Instead, you'll just see the coordinates of the region. So that's just something to think about as you might think about how you would use this document.